Thank you very, very much. His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, former President of the Republic, John Agyekum Kufuor, I know he's watching from home. Second Lady, Samira, my beautiful Samira. National Chairman, Stephen Ayensu in team, my running mate and incoming Vice President, Inshallah, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, Chief of Staff, Akosia Frimaus Parry, the General Secretary, famous Justin Kodia, Ministers of State, Members of Parliament, of course not forgetting the Majority Leader of Parliament, our parliamentary candidates, our MMDCs, Chairman of the Council of Elders, the National, Regional, Constituency and Polling Station Executives, the media, ladies and gentlemen, I extend a warm welcome to you all. I stand here filled with a lot of emotion, humility, and nostalgia. 16 years ago, right here in this beautiful city of Sekondi Takoradi, I was outdoored to the good people of Ghana as the running mate to the visionary leader, then flag bearer and leader of the new patriotic party, His Excellency, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Today, I am privileged to return to Takoradi, this time against all odds, as the presidential candidate of the new patriotic party to launch the 2024 Manifesto of the party. With God, it is possible. In exactly 111 days from today, over 18 million Ghanaians will have the opportunity to decide on a new leader and parliamentarians to govern the affairs of state over the next 4 years. Fellow Takoradites, the race is on, and I know, and you know, and they know that the momentum is on our side. I have witnessed firsthand the enthusiasm, commitment, and determination of the rank and file of our party, the great new patriotic party, to break the eight and usher in life-transforming ideas that will deliver broad-based prosperity to all Ghanaians. From my possibilities tour, I came across hope, expectations, and the belief that it is possible to transform Ghana and create a sense of pride in the Ghanaian. Our tradition, the Dankwa Dombo Buzia tradition, has not only been the vanguard of the rule of law and governance, but also pace setters and drivers of the life-changing policies and interventions. Let me first thank Honorable Oseche Mensah Bonsu, the chair of the Manifesto Committee, the co-chairs, and all members of the Manifesto team for putting together this wonderful document. I am very grateful for their dedication. Let me also thank the earlier presenters for highlighting the major achievements of our government under the leadership of President Nana Akufo-Addo. We have taken time to highlight these achievements because track record is a significant predictor of credibility and the potential to do more. We have catalogued them because in the NPP, we view these as our obligation to the people from whom we draw our mandate. We have enumerated them precisely because they communicate our ability to respond to the numerous needs of different sections of our society. Indeed, we have listed them to show we remain committed to fulfilling the social contract we have with the good people of Ghana. Above all, the exercise we have undertaken confirms that hundreds of pledges that have been made to the Ghanaian people, and broadly they have been kept, and given the opportunity, more impactful and forward-looking interventions will be implemented to move Ghana to the next level of the development journey, a journey that will build on our successes to open opportunities for all. We promise to change. We promise change, and we have made significant progress. Mr. President, history will be kind to you, and you shall be remembered for your unprecedented achievements and the millions of lives you have touched. We are eternally grateful. Ladies and gentlemen, if there was any doubt, to believe it is crystal clear from the data-backed account we have given that our overall performance and track record are superior to that of my opponent and his party in virtually every sector. Virtually every sector we are superior. But I believe, as a former president and a proud student of history, he knows that. And that is one part of the reason why he is avoiding a debate. The other part, of course, is about the courage and the confidence to put what he intends to do differently this time around with the power he seeks, side by side to the vision I have for Ghana and the clear roadmap to getting the work done. That is the choice we are presenting to you, the Ghanaian voter, on December 7th. Ladies and gentlemen, notwithstanding our superior performance, there remains the fact that between 2020 and 2022, we experienced severe challenges triggered by the pandemic, which brought the world and our country to a thundering halt. The world experienced the greatest economic depression since the 1930s, with most countries recording negative GDP growth. Supply chain disruptions and the rising price of oil resulted in major increases in the prices of fuel, freight, and food across the globe. Indeed, Ghanaians were hit very hard by rising food prices, increased exchange rate depreciation, rising fuel prices, and rising transport fares. Our debt became unsustainable and had to be restructured. Bondholders saw a sharp decline in their net worth following the painful yet unavoidable debt restructuring program. We faced very challenging times, but with calm leadership and the support and understanding of the good people of Ghana, we have weathered the storm, and the economy is firmly on the path of recovery with increasing GDP growth and declining inflation. It is gratifying to note that our policy interventions have started yielding the desired macroeconomic results. Many economists and analysts have rightly stated that Ghana has turned the corner, but we know that for many families, the cost of living is still very high. The hardship is real, and we commit to doing more to relieve the difficulties Ghanaians are facing. We are equally committed to creating more job opportunities that will significantly reduce youth unemployment among the national population that has increased over 5 million in the last 8 years alone. We have created so far 2.3 million jobs, the most of any government in the Fourth Republic. But youth unemployment remains a major concern and that confronts us, and we are committed to doing even more. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, it is better to continue with a party that has created more jobs than any other in the Fourth Republic than go back to a party and a leader who, after 4 years of doing so, created more unemployment than any government in the Fourth Republic. Ghana needs bold solutions to deal with the challenges we face. And that is what I am offering in asking for the mandate of the Ghanaians. This manifesto that we are launching lays out our comprehensive plan to take Ghana to the next level of growth, prosperity, under a selfless leader with bold solutions for jobs and businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, my vision, as I have stated, is to create a tent big enough to accommodate every Ghanaian, to tap into the resourcefulness and talents of our people, irrespective of our different ethnic, political, and religious backgrounds, to channel our energies into building the kind of country that assures food sufficiency, safe, prosperous, and dignified future for all Ghanaians, to create sustainable jobs with meaningful pay for all, and for Ghana to participate fully in the fourth industrial revolution using systems and data. To realize this vision, we must collectively have a mindset of possibilities, not impossibilities. There is a critical failure of mindset that manifests itself in the absence of core values, patriotism, and principles within our society. We need to invigorate the can-do spirit of Ghanaians, to believe that we can even do better than we have ever imagined if we put our minds to it. For example, students from Mamfi Girls and Prempeh College have won international robotic competitions against their peers in the US, Germany, South Korea, and so on. Recently, Dr. Angela Tabiri from Ashaiman was crowned the world's most interesting mathematician after a global competition with some of the best mathematicians in the world. The mindset of possibilities must be inculcated in our children from home and school. This is why we are going to introduce a growth mindset curriculum in our schools to help students build critical skills such as problem solving, risk-taking, opportunity spotting, and design thinking. Ladies and gentlemen, we have experienced a major economic crisis, and with your support, weathered the storm. But we are not yet where we want to be. It is therefore very important to protect and expand our rebounding economy, to attain and sustain macroeconomic stability with low inflation, low interest rates, exchange rate stability, and low budget deficits. Fiscal discipline and private sector empowerment will be the key to realizing our commitment to job and wealth creation. To sustainably reduce the budget deficit and interest rates, my government, inshallah, will enhance fiscal discipline through an independent Fiscal Responsibility Council enshrined in the Fiscal Responsibility Act. The Fiscal Responsibility Act will also be amended to add a fiscal rule that requires that budgeted expenditure in any year does not exceed 105% of the previous year's tax revenue. This will prevent the experience of budgetary expenditures based on optimistic revenue forecasts which do not materialize. Ladies and gentlemen, furthermore, my government will reduce the fiscal burden on government by empowering the private sector to do more. Fundamental to building any modern, prosperous society is ensuring that access to education and health is available to all, and that there is a safety net for the most vulnerable. Under the two-term administration of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's government, I can say without any fear of contradiction that no past leader has done more to uplift the poor and the vulnerable in society than my boss. We put in place new ones and expanded existing social policies and programs for the masses across Ghana, like the free senior high school, free TVET, Agenda 111, one constituency, one ambulance, expanding school feeding, national health insurance care for childhood cancer, sickle cell patients, and kidney dialysis, and so on. I pledge to you that my government will protect and deepen all these programs that several millions of you depend on. From my interactions with the people, the three top major concerns of Ghanaians are the cost of living, jobs, and roads. The 2024 Manifesto of the new Patriotic Party prioritizes what you, the Ghanaian people, say are your priorities. The manifesto lays out a clear path of how we plan to solve these major problems, among others. That is why my government will make business and jobs our #1 priority. True to our philosophy, I believe the private sector has the capacity to provide jobs and create wealth for society. My administration will therefore incentivize and empower the private sector to do more in complementing government in the provision and management of many infrastructures and other public services. This can reduce government expenditure, increase efficiency, and accountability, create competition, and improve maintenance. Yes, we have built more roads than any other government in the Fourth Republic, but we still have a lot to do. In the last 8 years, we have been deliberate in empowering Ghanaian contractors to undertake many major infrastructural projects that would otherwise have gone to foreign contractors. My policies will encourage the private sector to take greater responsibility in the provision and management of critical infrastructures, including building hostels, housing, and schools for government to rent or lease to own. The demand for roads construction is massive, and this has historically placed a huge burden on the budget. I will make it more attractive for the private sector to also finance construction, management, and maintenance of roads through PPP concessions. Also, I want to change our procurement culture drastically to tackle waste and corruption. My government will move towards leasing rather than outright purchase of goods such as vehicles, printing equipment, and so on. The private sector will have the responsibility for the maintenance of the equipment. With this approach, the budget can save very significant amounts in outright cash expenditure annually from various items across different ministries, departments, and agencies. The policy will energize the private sector to invest in their expansion and create many jobs. Enhancing the role of the private sector, along with fiscal and administrative decentralization, improving our systems and the way your institutions function, will lead to greater efficiency, cutting waste, and ensuring value for money in procurement. The move towards the private sector provision of many public services would create the fiscal space of at least 3% of GDP annually. That is 30 billion Ghana cedis annually. This represents a major paradigm shift. Additionally, an efficient system of governance will require even fewer ministers. Therefore, I will have no more than 50 ministers. Ladies and gentlemen, I come to our tax system. To increase government tax revenue, we have to reform and refocus the Ghana Revenue Authority towards broadening the tax base. Estimates suggest revenues amounting to 13% of GDP, or some 150 billion Ghana cedis in 2023, are not collected because people are outside the tax net. Many individuals, businesses find our tax system cumbersome and confusing. We want a tax system that is easy to understand, easy to comply with, and easy to enforce, softer on the taxpayer, and that is not subject to so much discretion. The next NPP government will introduce a very simple, citizen-friendly, and business-friendly flat tax system. This will be the first change in our tax system since independence. No government has thought about changing the tax system, but it is the NPP party that is saying it is time for a change in the tax system. A flat tax system, and a flat tax will be of a percentage of income for individuals and businesses with appropriate exemption thresholds set to protect the poor. With the new tax regime, the tax return should be able to be completed in minutes. We will also simplify our complicated corporate tax system and VAT regime. We will reform the VAT tax regime by merging all levies into a single line item levy and treat the merged levy as part of input and output VAT to eliminate the cascading effect in the current regime. To start the new tax system on a clean slate, my government will provide a tax amnesty, that is a complete exemption from the payment of taxes and the waiving of associated interest and penalties up to a certain year to individuals and businesses for failures to file taxes in previous years, so that everyone will start afresh on a clean slate. In return, my government will expect the beneficiaries of this most significant gesture and such savings to be directly used in creating jobs. Our ultimate goal, ladies and gentlemen, is to move Ghana to a lower tax regime with broader coverage to stimulate greater economic activity and generate more revenue to the state. For this to succeed, tax digitalization will be implemented across all aspects of the tax administration. Everyone will be required to file tax, a very simple tax return, electronically through their mobile phone or a computer. There will be no manual or paper filing of taxes anymore. Faceless assessments will provide transparency and accountability. There will be no need under this new tax regime. There will be no need for GRA to send officers to sit in shops, to close shops. E-invoicing, as being implemented by GRA, will also be extended. I now come to support for business. Ladies and gentlemen, my government will be for business because, true to our philosophy, I believe the business of government is to empower business to deliver for society. We will therefore support the growth of businesses by the following policies. We will incentivize Ghanaian startups in selected strategic sectors with investment tax credits for the first 3 years of their operations. A flat rate system of duties for all importers will be implemented, bringing predictability and stability on prices of imported goods. We will harmonize port charges to align the charges with the charges in competing regional ports, particularly Togo. Duties in our ports will not be higher than the duties in Lomé, Togo. Ladies and gentlemen, very importantly, we will use the government's purchasing power to stimulate industrial expansion and business growth. This will help create jobs by rolling out a Buy Ghana First policy, under which all goods and services procured by the public sector will first be filled by goods and services produced locally. And we will back this by legislation. We will implement a shift in electricity tariffs to the electricity tariff structure to a regime in which commercial rates are either equal to or lower than residential rates, never higher, to power our industries and businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also going to establish an SME bank to meet the special financing needs of small-scale medium enterprises, which will employ over 80% of Ghanaians. We will also complete the digitalization of land titling and registration to allow owners of landed properties to use their properties as collateral to raise capital for their business growth and expansion. We will create special economic zones in collaboration with the private sector at Ghana's major border towns such as Aflao, Paga, and Elubo to enhance economic activity, increase exports, reduce smuggling, and create jobs. Ladies and gentlemen, I come to the cost of living, reducing the cost of living. Another major priority of my government will be to reduce the cost of living. The world is facing what is commonly referred to as the global cost of living crisis. Even though the inflation has dropped by half this year, prices remain high. I want a Ghana where we can attain food security through the application of technology and irrigation to commercial large-scale farming. We will also promote the use of agricultural lime to reduce the acidity of our soils, enhance soil fertility, and get more yield from the application of fertilizers. Ghana has an abundance of limestone to do this. I will prioritize the construction of the Pualugu Dam by using the private sector financing to crowd in grant financing. Ladies and gentlemen, we will also ensure food security by stabilizing the prices of food produced locally through financing and guarantees from the Development Bank Ghana and the Ghana Incentive-Based Risk-Sharing System for Agricultural Lending, also known as GESL. This will mainly involve upscaling the production of staple foods, investing in the preservation of staple foods, meat, poultry, and fish products, and establishing agricultural enclaves which will have irrigation, processing, and storage facilities in each region for crops or grains in which the regions have a comparative advantage. We will reduce the cost of transportation by promoting and supporting electric vehicles for public transportation. By the grace of God, I hope the first 100 buses that we will be introducing for public transportation will hopefully, inshallah, arrive before the end of December this year. We are also going to expand the Gold for Oil program to continue stabilizing the price of fuel. Stabilizing the price of spare parts through the flat rate duties for all importers policy, which will bring predictability and stability on prices of imported goods. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also going to make your driver's license valid for 10 years and extend the renewal period to 5 years. Under a housing for all policy, I will also have a major focus on the provision of public housing in the same manner that Singapore did. We will partner with the private sector to build large housing estates without the government having to borrow or spend. Also, the National Rental Assistance Scheme, which has worked so well with thousands of beneficiaries, will be enhanced to deal with the problem of the demands of rent advance of 2 years or more. We will also ensure a variety of accommodation types to meet different pockets and needs as follows. In social